Damn!
This video is going to show you how to get gold on Watkins Glen, earning you a total of 2 million credits in GT7. For this time attack, it's important to note that I'm using a controller, and I'm also using traction control 0. All other assists are off, and I drive a manual transmission. This trial took a few hours of practice, and this skeleton is built on my time of 14.2 seconds. As of this recording, that's currently gold, but I will note that the podium time on this trial has changed numerous times over the past few days. So be sure to check any pinned comments for tips and tricks, or an updated time should I need to improve it further. But this trial and car combination is actually pretty fun. The Corvette on sports mediums can drift easily, but what took me the most time on this one was learning how to exit the corners effectively without the tail sliding out. This guide is going to highlight some areas of this time trial that are tricky and where you need to focus your effort in order to improve your time. This guide is broken into 3 parts with the timeline below, 1 lap with commentary, an overview of the course and key sections to focus on, and a final lap in both road and chase cameras with no commentary for you to use as a reference if needed. One thing to note on this particular time trial is that you can exploit the track boundaries on certain corners, so I'll be sure to show you the track positioning on those corners to help you save some time. Alright, let's get into the trial. Open it up with full speed as much as possible. The 400 is our first braking point, and you're going to see we apply full braking and we move down to gear 2. And I start to rotate the car, and I'm aiming for just the inside of this corner, and we're going to see our track positioning here. So track positioning, you can cut this corner a bit as you come through. And I gear back up to gear 3, and I'm applying the accelerator, but I'm not going full tilt until we stabilize the car. Here's our track positioning. As long as your wheel is on the inside of that barrier, you're okay. And as you can see, I got a bit unstable because I put too much acceleration. Here's our next brake point. And I'm going to start to rotate the car a bit early, going up to gear 4 to maintain my traction, and you can see on the accelerator, I'm just feathering the throttle to come through this next portion. So more throttle. Again, you can see I'm just playing with the throttle to maintain my track. And here you can see our positioning. You want to make sure you're as close to that wall as possible. And the reason is you're going to take a very slight roll here as you fully accelerate, and you don't want to have to lay off on the straight. So upcoming is our next brake point. It's just past the 500 meters. And you're going to see I apply full brake, and I start shifting down, and I rotate the car at this point here. Now, we're now in gear 3. We're still on full brake. We're going to cut this wall as close as possible. And here's our track positioning on this corner. And this next section is really about getting the car to turn with minimal braking and cutting the corners as much as possible. Here's another shout out of track positioning. Again, you can see I'm just starting to apply a wee bit of throttle here. Again, cutting this left-hand corner here. And on this next section, you can actually cut a fair amount. So here's the track positioning on this portion here. You can see you can have your full right side actually into the dirt. I'm full throttle as I come through here. And here's a portion where I probably lost a bit of time here. So you can see I actually braked too much and I had to add throttle to right the course here. And I'm full throttle coming out of this. And again, track position on the left-hand side. As long as you don't go past that barrier, you're okay. So full acceleration out, gear 5. And you're going to see our brake point is right here. We're going to brake at that section of grass. And we're going full brake, we're gearing down. We're going to gear down to rotate the car. And on the apex, we're going to actually gear back up into gear 4. So you can see we're rotating the car, we're applying throttle now. We're on gear 4, so we maintain our traction. And then we're going to come out through here. I'm going to show you one more track positioning on this side right here, and you'll see another mistake I made on this track. So as you can see, I over-rotated the car a bit here, but it's pretty liberal on the track limits. You can easily cut a bit more off there. So gearing down, coming around the final straight. Again, a bit of speed because I had to overcorrect. And full tilt out, and we're going to end up with a 114.2, which is respectable. I think it'll hold gold, but you can clearly see a couple points on the lap where I can pick up more time. And that's it. Here's a quick overview of the race, which I hope was helpful. These are the areas where I needed to focus to improve my time. So hopefully you can apply some of the knowledge to make your trial a bit easier. So section 1, 2, and 4 are the most important. This track isn't too technical, but the Corvette takes a little time getting used to, mostly around positioning and gearing to maintain your traction. So load up the leader's ghost and just keep practicing the first 2 sections until you can enter the first straight clean. Once you have that section down, Keep working on section 4 to make it through with minimal braking and learning how to cut every single possible corner. Section 2 is all about managing your throttle uphill and getting the right driving line. Section 3, you want to hug the wall as close as possible and start a slight right turn so you can maintain full acceleration on the straight. Like I mentioned, having the best entry into the straight will likely have the biggest impact on your overall time. Section 4, brake at the 500 meter, hug the wall, and use minimal brake throughout the corner and coast through the rest of the chicane. Section 5 is the sweeping corner. This corner is about coasting and using minimal brake or throttle to correct your course. When you see the building on the right side, you can start your acceleration into the next straight. Again, on my replay, you'll see I brake a bit too much and I lose a bit of time on this entry. Section 6, brake when the grass starts, gear 3 into the corner, and gear 4 on the apex, and just hug the inside of both of these corners. Focus on a gentle roll on the exits and use all available track to get as much speed as possible onto the home straight. So the final piece of advice on this track is to abuse the track limits. You can take up more space than you likely think you can, so get used to abusing corners early in your practice, and it'll go a long way to helping you out long term. Between that and really taming the Corvette acceleration and getting used to gearing up to accelerate is really going to help you with success on this trial. So I'm confident in the strategies mentioned in this guide, and you'll easily be able to improve your time. I'll be sure to post any updated times in the comments below should I need to further improve to hit gold. So while 14.2 likely isn't the greatest time, I'm confident enough in the strategy here to share it, and as you can see, I made a few mistakes on this run as well, which usually cost me probably close to a second. So next we've got the non-commentary road and chase cameras for those of you that use a different viewpoint when racing. I hope you find this breakdown helpful, and if you enjoyed these guides, and should you feel that I've earned it, please like and comment below to help my channel grow. Thank you, and take care.